Hello, this is Ed Rigsby, author of the ROI of Membership. Well, here we are, Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is all about research. Perhaps you read the preface that I suggested if you already believe in qualitative research, maybe you don't even need to read the chapter. However, you have read the chapter, and here we are. So let's talk about it. Quite frankly, mixed methodology using quantitative and qualitative research usually serves an organization like yours, especially membership organizations, the best. Quantitative research is a methodology which is probably something you're very familiar with, something that you use, probably SurveyMonkey and those types of things, to where basically you put out a series of questions and you get a answer. The challenge that I believe with that type of research is there can be a lack of context for people to answer the questions and a lack of ownership in answering the questions. Maybe you've done it yourself. Maybe you filled out a survey and you're just kind of in a hurry and you're starting to read the questions and you don't really understand them or they don't make a lot of sense, or maybe they're just the answer that you want to give is there. So you just start buzzing through it and then you go faster and faster. And how strong of an emotional ownership do you have in doing that survey? Maybe not too much. In qualitative research, which is a focus group methodology or an interview methodology, it gives you very rich results. And generally, there's a situation where there's a context because there's some kind of facilitator or an interviewer. So that person that interviews or facilitates puts context around the types of questions and helps the person that's answering to understand. Also, that person is there to explain. And with the qualitative research, we're trying to determine what people feel, how they see the world. And in quantitative, they're effectively just looking for numbers. So if you are doing say a member engagement survey and you're going to ask a series of 25 questions, and you put it out to all your people and you get a 5% return, hey, that's not bad. And you can use that information, and maybe you can even use it in your qualitative research. Now, for instance, what I find is very valuable when at an association, maybe like yours, when the qualitative research is done. Now we have a situation where there's the context, there's an emotional ownership in the answers because there's a facilitator or there's an interviewer that just, holds people's feet to the fire, makes them own their answers. And that will give you a rich result. Many times after qualitative research is done, then researchers will go into quantitative to get numbers to go deeper into a particular topic. So I'm hoping that you're not the type of person out there that we all dread that says, oh, qualitative research is no good. I'm hoping that you're not one of the type of persons out there that's just watching this to reject research. But I think if you approach research with an open mind, there's room for all methodology. And I think you probably find at your association or your society, when you're starting to really understand and wanting to understand how your members engage, what your members consider to be the return on investment in their membership, that qualitative research will serve you very, very well. So the question is, if you believe in qualitative, then I would highly recommend that you take a look at when you might be able to do a qualitative session. Well, that's the main thing I wanted to communicate with you today. Let me look at my button here and let me close this thing down. And you're going to go into Chapter 4 now. Chapter 4 is a pretty interesting chapter because that's when I really get into, as a matter of fact, many people say the book starts in Chapter 4. But Chapter 4 is when I really get into the information of how to do the qualitative research to prove the ROI of membership in real dollar numbers. So I think that as you get into Chapter 4, you're going to be pretty stoked. So we'll see you next time.